Dread Mechanic back again for part 4 of my Armoured Core Mark IV build stream. Hello. So, last time we finished setting up the skim mode. So, the Mark IV version, this big purple and grey one, can now walk pretty well. We've adjusted his walk cycle settings a little bit. And we've set up the skimmer mode controls. So he can now do all this kind of business. Drive around, fly around, skim around. Oh, hey Freybear. How you doing, man? So yeah, we've set up a bunch of that stuff. I need to put all those weapons away for now. And we've got the Mark III following us around quite happily. Right, so things that are left to do with this one. I need to set up AI controls. That is a load of complicated stuff. There's what were they? Remind me of them. I've got a very poor memory, especially when I'm trying to concentrate on doing complicated things. Remember you mentioned something. I can't even remember. It was quite late last night. Right. So that parachutes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh yeah, I need to get 2 more of them in there somewhere. So, one of the things I'd like to try and do with this is I would like to try and set it up so that it can really easily switch between walk mode, skimmer mode, and flight mode. At the moment, I've just got on-off switches on the toolbar. But in the actual game itself, all you have to do is tap the jump button to fly. Yeah, all I've got to do is tap the jump button to fly and tap the dash button. Oh, the ship with self-destructing escape pods, that's the one, yeah. Well, I did mention that I've done some self-destruct stuff before with some of my mechs. Escape pods. I very rarely do spaceships. Occasionally I do get around to them. But a lot of the time, what is he doing behind me? A sense of being stupid. A lot of the time I don't really do spaceships too much. Yeah, to be honest, I do want to make something like the Minotaur at some point. To be honest, I am playing No Man's Sky on and off at the moment. I'm really hoping that Expedition gets completed so it unlocks all the new mech parts, because the new mech parts for the Minotaur look quite cool, and I would quite like to have some of them in my game. But yeah, for this I want Might change it up. That's working pretty well so far. So, instead of accidentally breaking that one, let's do this. And let's also make a new blueprint of this one. That'll do. Oop. What am I doing? Do that. There we go. You are the latest, greatest version. Right, so if we activated walk mode, I would need an event controller. Activate flight. Right. Let's chuck in. Have we got any room left in here? Yes, we have actually. There's a little gap. Oh, there's a bit of a gap either side. Oh, there's plenty of space in there actually. Okay. Let's try. Front controller either side. What I would want is when walk mode turns on, I'd want an extra 2 event controllers to trigger the skimmer mode and the flight mode when I press either jump or crouch. Because A is the jump button on the control pad and B is the crouch button, and that's the same buttons as the buttons used to activate those abilities in Armored Core. So we call that, let's call it skimmer active for now. I will figure out a different naming convention later on. Upsetting, paste. That can be. Let's do flight. So, what I would want is turn walk mode off. Walk mode on. So when that turns on, that's going to do all the walking stuff. Obviously. Then we could have these 2 controllers. Have them turn on. And in walk mode off, we will have them turn off somewhere. Oh Christ, we've not got a lot of room left in there. It'll have to be there then. Active. So we could have them turn off there. Right. Gap. But they are. Stick trouble from the other one. Right, so then if we turned walk mode on, so that would turn this on, and this would be thrust powered. greater than 50. And this is the crouch button. So I would want the down flight controller to activate. Now I only want it to... Oh, you've got a dog. Oh, I love dogs. I've got 2 cats and they are screwing around somewhere. Don't know what they're doing right now. So when that thruster triggers, we only want it to activate on one side. We don't want it to switch anything off. So when it triggers, we would want it to turn off walk mode, and then we would want it to activate skimmer mode. It's not got that thruster turned on yet, so it's not going to do anything. So that would also mean when walk mode turns on, I would need the flight thrusters up and down to turn on. Yeah, I need that to turn on. I need that to turn on. And I would need the down thruster to turn on. Walk mode off. Oh god, we're not going to have a lot of room left in there for that, are we? Ugh. Right. Oh, we can move that actually. Happy emotion face. That there. Happy emotion face. Then we could have the flight thrusters up. Oop, that's the wrong thing. Ah, what secret's that, man? So that would want to turn off, that would want to turn off, and that would want to turn... no, I don't have a Nintendo Switch. I've always toyed with the idea of it, but literally the only things on the Switch I'm even remotely interested in are just Zelda games. And I have neither the time nor the spare money to justify buying a Switch just for like 2 games. So yeah, I've never really played on the Switch. I think the last Nintendo console I actually played on was a Wii a long time ago. I missed having GameCube. I had a GameCube when I was a teenager. That was pretty good. Right, so we activate walk mode. That turns on the up and down thrusters. We can walk around doing what we do. And then if we stop and we hit the crouch button, we nicely switch. Sort of. Ah, something's happened there. Gyros aren't turning quick enough. Gyros. That hasn't switched over properly, has it? No, it has not. So, if I now deactivate skimmer mode, yeah, those gyros are active by mistake because they haven't been triggered properly. Turn that on, trigger it again, that will sort itself out. Right, so walk mode. Walk around in walk mode. Then if we hit the crouch button, it switches us to skimmer mode, but yeah, the gyros aren't switching over quick enough. Because they're probably triggering themselves too many times. So, if we deactivate skimmer mode, again, the wrong controller gyros are active. AM2R. Give me a second. I will bring that up now on the old Google search. What was it? AM2R. AM2R. Video game. There we go. Oh! Metroid. It's been a very long time since I've played another Metroid remake. Okay. Oh, is it like... Is it like an official remake, or is it some sort of mod project? But yeah, it looks interesting. I haven't played them. To be honest, I don't think I've played a Metroidvania game since I had a Game Boy, like 20 years ago. Oh, it's a fan game, right? Yeah. I'll have a look at it at some point. One of my younger brothers is more of the 2D puzzle platformer, Metroid, Castlevania type people than I am. Oh, that's not even remotely surprising. Like, if you even look funny in the direction of a Nintendo property, they will copyright strike you. Like, I don't dare go near any of their stuff these days. I wouldn't dare stream any of their stuff for fear of getting sued to hell and back. They are possibly one of the most litigious companies in the entire world. And they don't seem to understand the concept that if you release the stuff that the people are pirating, they won't need to pirate it. They don't like to share their toys. Yeah. Nintendo make good stuff, but I've got a few issues with their business model and the way they go about things. So what was I doing? Oh yeah, right, so the switch between walk mode and skimmer mode is either... Yeah, I think it's tripping over itself trying to switch the gyros over. So, if I instead be cheeky and stick in the gyros timer, turn it on, and trigger it, it should hopefully... pixel... what's that? 2R has amazing pixel quality and it makes the evolved method. Oh, so it's got like a more interesting battle system, that's it. Oh, that's not too bad then. Like, if they're not too fussed about that guy's videos. No, just every time I ever hear anything about Nintendo in the news, it's Nintendo sue the crap out of someone for something. It's just like, they're just overly protective of all their stuff. Like, almost psychotically so. Right, so that'll turn all them on and off, and then that should switch the actual controls over. So walk mode is active. We can walk about. We can do stuff. And then if we hit the crouch button, there we go, gyro control is there. Aha! Right. That was a way of switching to that. Now I need a way. Now I need to activate flight mode. That now says skim mode down there. We can skim along, minding our own business, looking for targets, and then I want to be able to hit that button and take off into the air. So the flight mode active controller will be, again, thrust powered, over 50%, and it will be looking at the up control thruster. When that gets triggered, it will deactivate skimmer mode. And then activate flight mode. Oh, that's interesting. They're like the one game that Nintendo have given up trying to fight. I mean, this is my whole point. Like, there's this massive fan modding community that has rebuilt this game from scratch, the way they want it. And if Nintendo would just do that themselves, they could A, cut out the pirating because it wouldn't be necessary anymore, because B, they've now created, like, they've now exploited the gap in the market that they're ignoring, and they can make money off it as well. Like, I don't understand why companies like this, that are that big and have that many resources, don't just put like a little team aside to do these sort of things. Like, do a remake of classic games that people are begging for because they are going to ridiculous efforts to remake it them bloody selves. It doesn't make sense. But I think a lot of it stems from Nintendo being a toy company. They're not a game company. They're not a computer game company like people think they are. They've been a toy company for like nearly 200 years or something. So they've got this mindset of, let's just pump out the newest innovative thing we've created. Let's just go with the new toy we've made. Like, all that stuff's in the past. We want to sell the new thing, and yeah, Nintendo don't seem to grasp things like that. So now we can drive around. I'm going to quickly save in case I smeg this up. Flight controller active. So that is now set up to turn those things off. So if I'm skimming around and hit spacebar, it does absolutely nothing. Why is that not done? Oh, because it's not switched on. Right, so that's now switched on. We can drive around, and if we hit spacebar, that's sort of worked. It did something. It's activated the thrusters. but it's not activated. I'll properly activate the flight controls. So flight sign. If I flick that on and off. There we go. Put that in there. Right, so oh, is it free as well? Then they really can't do anything if they're publishing it for free. They can like take it down on like copyright claims, but if they're not actually making a profit, then there's no financial reward in it for Nintendo. There's no stolen revenue to try and recoup, essentially. So it's probably not worth their time. Alright, so that can walk. Then we hit that to go into skimmer mode. Then we can hit spacebar and that's not done anything. Why not? Because you are not switched on. Oh, right, that's why. Because I need to set on and off switches on skimmer mode as well. Right, so that's on. We'll pretend that's turned on properly. Then we can hit spacebar, and all that happens is we tip back like that. Because it's not activating stuff quickly enough. Or it's activating, yeah. Right, okay. Oh, it's got a mech boss fight in it. Sweet. I mean, well, Metroid's always been very mech-ish anyway. It's always had a very heavily robot theme, from what I remember. Right, so flight mode turning off, and skimmer mode turning off. They're not quick enough for each other. So, why didn't we try that? And turn skimmer mode off. And then that will turn flight mode on. What if we just flick that flight mode sign on and off a couple of times? Turn it on, turn it off, turn it on again. Does that make a difference, or do I need to create a delay? Can I use the mech to go to the unknown signal? Yeah, absolutely. Take walk mode on. I could easily walk there, but it's 2 kilometers away. Or I could just fly there. Ah, what's happened there? Those damn flight control gyros. Still a bit of a bug in there, isn't there? Trigger that. There we go. Putting the Smashing Pumpkins lyrics there, are you? I used to be a massive fan of Smashing Pumpkins when I was a teenager. And Billy Corgan went a bit strange. Not much. Yeah. Bit of a tense angle to park it on, but yeah, these mechs aren't too bad for navigating around. Drop it there, and then hopefully the gyro correction will kick in. Haha! Alright, the gyro correction should keep that thing balanced on the side of that. Oop. No, it's not that button, is it? No, it's that button there. Have you got anything good for me today? Will you let me get anywhere near that button, you bastard? There you go. Yet another badger grinder. Oh, how many of those badger grinders I have now. You can just fly away. Fly back to where we were. Salvage drill function. Well, I've made mechs with drills on them. I made an industrial variant of the Tachikoma, you know, the yellow one with the hazard stripes, and stuck drills on the end of that. Got a little tiny drill mod and stuck little tiny drills on the end of his hands. He was alright actually at drilling and transporting small amounts of ore. Right, so if we engage walk mode, we can walk around, all is good. Then we can tap the crouch button, and we still seem to have issues with those gyros. So maybe I would rather there we go. Maybe I would rather start it so there's a slight delay. Oh, but like to what's that? Oh, to like harvest derelict ship scrap. Oh, then you'd want grinders then. Yeah, you could easily do that. There's a really good small grid block tool mod. Azimuth's tiny drill. It's not just a tiny drill, it includes a welder and a grinder as well. And they're all basically like one-to-one scale downs from the large grid versions, and they're really good for like little industrial things like that. Oh hey, Bipolar Gaming, didn't see you there, man. How you doing, man? So if I start that instead, will that give me better results? So walking around, we've got the gyro control we're supposed to have. we can turn like we're supposed to, using the keys. Now, if we tap that button, it engages all that, and we have no gyro control. I think some things are conflicting. What if there's a mech bay that only opens to a... Oh, so you mean like a thing, like a key that the piston, the mech could insert to open the door? Could do that. You could have a connector on the end of the piston, or you could have a rotor head on the end of the piston. And then you could have either a connector or a rotor on the other end of the building you're connecting to, and then just have a event controller that detects either connectors detecting or being connected, or have it detect rotor heads connecting, and then presto, you've got like a key lock system. Not like the key locks in Destroy All Monsters. That's a different thing. Right, so that's not quite working how I want it to. Right, so I'll turn skimmer mode off again. And now the wrong thing is active. Yeah, thought so. Right, so turn that back on, trigger it, turns itself off. Cool. Right, so walking around in walk mode. Everything else works, balance control works. I haven't really played on any community servers. I am not sure how happy a community server might be with one of my mechs running on it. The blueprint for the big white one is up on mod.io, and it is up on Steam Workshop if you want to download it and play around with it. The only mod in it that is necessary is a mod from mod.io that increases rotor strength. But yeah, the big white one, he's up on all the platforms now to download and play with. As well as like a bunch of my other mechs. The last one I published before that was the HAW 205, 206 rather, Scorpion mech from Ghost in the Shell. Right, so walk mode works, balance control, step control both work. That's all good. Jameson is lying on his side, being an idiot as usual. He's got booted. Right, so then tap that to engage that, and my gyro control is not there. Why? Look at that. Gyro control. That off. Everything's back to normal. Right. Ugh. Too many letters. Right, skin mode active. Try this again. That turns walk mode off. that turns the skimmer mode sign on. I need that gyro control to just switch over and work properly. Please. Do that. Start that. Oh, not there. Do it there. Oh yeah, man. I've honestly, I've not really done much online stuff, but like, I've not really done much like multiplayer stuff with Space Engineers. But yeah, if you've got a server to join and an invite to send us, go for it. What's that, Freybear? Can I set up a combat scenario? Give me a second. This is probably gonna lag out my game. Come with me. Let's go somewhere where you're not going to upset anybody else that I'm currently working on. Alright, let's go. Over here will do. Stick him there. Oh, that was a bit higher up than I thought he was. Let's also quickly turn off guard mode. Turn on patrol mode instead. Patrol mode has the better combat, or more interesting looking combat response. So he can walk over there. He can walk over here. Providing nothing in them is broken. We make one of them a bad guy. They should start fighting each other. Oh, that wasn't supposed to happen. Why have you dropped your guns? That was the wrong thing. But, I wonder why that happened. But, yeah. They do have combat modes. I wonder why he dropped his guns like that. He's not supposed to be set up to do stuff like that. Damage on for a second. Blow the crap out of each other. I'm really curious why he dropped his guns. Those controllers shouldn't have been active. Yeah, unfortunately, like with any AI systems in Space Engineers, they can get a bit buggy when there's a lot of stuff going on. And my sim speed is dropping significantly with this many mechs running around. And he seems to refuse to go any higher. Yeah. Anyway, they can fight. But, back over here. Back to what we were doing. I want this. I want this system to work. So, walk around quite happily. And then when we tap that button, it goes into skimmer mode. But the gyro control is not switching over properly. So, what's going on there? Walk mode off. What's happening in walk mode off? What's it doing here? Turning those things off. Walk control off. That turns that off. That turns that off. That is triggering the gyro. All right there. So, what if skimmer mode on, we change, where is it? In here somewhere, skimmer control, we do thrusters, there we go. If I change that to start instead, there is a 1 second delay. Will that make a difference? And obviously turning that off is going to screw that up because that's the wrong way around. So we need to activate that, reset it again, so we're back to normal. Right. Test 1,000,003. Oh, no worries, Freybear. Cheers for dropping by, man. So, walk mode's cool, balance control is cool, everything works properly. Use that to turn on that. That obviously didn't make a difference, did it? What if we instead try put that back to normal, skimmer mode on, put that back to normal. That, whereabouts is that in there? If I stick that right at the end of this sequence instead, so it's the very last thing that happens, will it still conflict? So we turn that off, turn walk mode on, walk around a little bit, activate skimmer mode, and no, it's still not doing it. Oh, you know what I need? I need that on my toolbar so I can see what the hell is happening with it. Remove that for now. Right, you're not on. You are now. You are triggered. Right, control is back to how it should be. Turn all that off. Back to normal. Turn that on. It's all happening so quick, I'm not going to see it though, is it? Yeah. So that didn't work properly last time, so if we third change that. Hang on. Skimmer active. Where is it? Turn that off. Turn that off. Back to normal. Right. Walking. Turning. Gyro controlling. Yeah. Then tap that button. Nope. Damn it. This is not working. At the end to start it, so it's got a delay. What about that? Turn that on. Trigger it. Turn that off. Everything is back to normal. Right. Oh, is that? That head's still touching. How is that still touching? That cannot be touching that. What are you talking about? What's going on there? Things being flaggy now. And I'm not sure why. Anyway. Fix that in a minute. So that's fine. Then we tap those controls and we still don't switch over. Damn it. Really making no difference at all. Right, well, we'll stick it here then. Will that make a difference? Nope. Hmm. Remote mode on. Take them back out there. What if I stick it much earlier in the sequence? Why is that that's clanging now? Interesting. Well, that seems to be alright now. Still no dice. Oh, turn that on. What if we try? Flicking it on, flicking it off a bunch of times. Instead. All that does is turn it all off. Again. That button. Ah. Oh, it worked for a second. What happened there? Working momentarily. Walk mode is on. Legs can move. Gyro control works. Tap the button. And it just turns everything off. Well, that's not working as intended, is it? Hmm. Difference then, does it? What if we try? What if we try turning that on? Triggering that again. What would that do? Would that make a difference? So, walk mode on, walking about, legs work, balance control works. Tap that button. No. Gyro mode kicks in. That smegging gyro control won't switch over. Still. You start it and give it a delay. Turn that off. Turn that on. Or you can walk around. And that seemed to work. That has switched over the controls. And we can now turn correctly. So, turn skimmer mode off. Back to normal. Walk mode is on. We have gyro control, we have keyboard control, we can walk around, we can tap that button. And there we go. Right, I think that's the one. That gets us from there to there. From here to here, we want to tap that for flight mode, but obviously that's not being turned on because I need skimmer mode to turn that on. Skimmer mode on needs to turn on the flight active controller. We want that to take place in the sequence. Don't really matter, I suppose. Stick it there for now. Oh, hey, Bipolar. You're in the process of getting a new server. Sound? Like I said, I've never really done much multiplayer stuff with Space Engineers. I've never really played on a server. A bit antisocial a lot of the time when it comes to gaming. Right, so that's that. So, flight. Active controller switched on. Pretend that worked properly. Tap that button, and we are. We turn halfway off. And end up in a weird limbo state. Right, active. Turns on, turns off that, turns on that, turns off that, turns on that, and that obviously did not work, did it? So, if we have flight mode turn like the other one, skimmer active. What did we do there? Just pressed play. Now if we do flight active, yeah, flight mode on, play, start, on, do, let's trigger it now, there we go. Yeah man, I'd happily build some mechs on someone's server, providing the server doesn't explode and die with all the subgrids and things going on. Right, so that can fly again now. So if we drop back down, disengage flight mode, everything's back to normal. So walk mode. We can walk forwards. We can turn using the mouse, and we can turn using the keyboard. We can then tap the crouch button, and that engages skimmer mode. And then we can, yeah, that sort of worked. There's a bit of a delay, and we can tap the up thruster, and that engages flight mode. Ah, yeah, that's now active. Okay, that's sort of working as intended. Oh, but yeah, that has just triggered that again, which is disengaged that. Right. If I tap that. Okay, that is progress. We just need to put in a few fail safes. So we need we need to set up skimmer mode. Yes, hang on, what was it? Activate walk mode. Let's stick the other two controllers down here. That'll make life easier. On and off and on and off. Right, so they're now both on when we're in walk mode. And then we walk along, we mind our own business. We decide we want to move faster and flick into skimmer mode. Skimmer mode is then deactivated. Flight mode is left active. Right. Then try this real quick in the hope that it might work. Trigger. Hopefully be a bit quicker, so then we can tap that. And yeah, it only like half gets there. It needs that second. Flight mode on. We're gonna yeah, there we go. Yeah. Annoyingly, it needs that second and a bit, doesn't it? That's hella frustrating. That can deactivate there. Oh, sad. I will have a look at it. Have a look for it at some point. Still looking at it. Still got at least another 2 hours on this stream that I plan to do. That absolutely shouldn't be active. There we go. Right, so what if we move? Let's the friction off. Walk mode and flight mode. They can definitely get moved to there. Mode on, off. Walk mode. Flight mode. Get switched back on there. Spin mode, friction off. Wheel position. What if I move all this along a bit? That's what skimmer, friction, reset, play, trigger, play, on. Wheel position. That to turn off and stop. Oh, damn. Button. Then skimmer friction. What's that? Friction off. That's part of a fail-safe system. Over there, that can go there, and then right at the very start of this sequence, we can piss about with these gyros. Try and get this gyro control system to turn off sooner. Reactors, warp modes, right. That's the very first thing that happens when skimmer mode turns off. Then, when flight mode turns on, it's one of the very first things that happens. Okay. Then we've got this here. Take that off. And we'll see what that does. So, go to walk mode. Walk around, everything is groovy. Got mouse control, got gyro control. Yeah. We hit that to switch over to skimmer mode. We've still got gyro control. Everything is cool. Hit spacebar. And yeah. End up like that. We need to trigger that again. Now we have control of it. Right, deactivate that. Right, again. Right. So this flight active controller. That made absolutely no smegging difference at all, did it? We stick that right at the very far end of the sequence. Walk around. Got gyro control, all the systems work properly. Hit the crouch button, and we switch into skimmer mode. Everything's cool. Hit the space bar, and we get halfway into flight mode, and then everything goes wrong. Screw you, game. What if, you know what, I'm going to need to put that on the toolbar. Reset that properly. Look, there we go, everything's back to normal. Right, okay, that's not working, so skimmer mode works fine. Wrong thing. So if we just have to start it, won't we? We have that little delay. Oh, there we go. Let's get around it. Oh, I could try. No, I don't think this is going to make much difference either. What if I make that activate the opposite end? Will that make a difference? So, walk mode, engage, walk around, control things. Tap the crouch button. We are now in skimmer mode. Hit the spacebar and we are now not. It's happening too quickly. There's not enough of a gap. So it's gonna have to be that 1 second delay for now. Which is hella frustrating. Light active. Turn on that, and we will just have to have a slight delay. The only way I can figure of doing it. Then flight active can turn itself off once it's been triggered. That way it's not going to conflict with anything. Yours. So, flight mode off. When that turns off, we would want those active controllers to both turn off as well. Oh, there's loads of space in there. It's fine. We'll turn them off here. And then we're still active. Skimmer mode is still active. Oh no, it's light active. It is still active. It should not be. Right, so turn that on. We can walk around. We can hit the crouch button mid-walk when everything seems to work fine. Then we can hit the space bar. And then everything goes tits up because of the friction controls. Waha. But kind of sort of work. I wanted to do it before that delay. So what could I do to counteract that? Drop out of that now. Everything is back off again. So when skimmer mode disengages, it resets. Yeah, it does that, doesn't it? what we need to do is that does that. Reset. Friction reset. What's that do? That does all of them. It just does all of that. Why is that on unlimited? What? Oh, because it's set to increase speed limit. You idiot. I missed something in there. Increase friction. That's why. Right, so one of those wheels is wrong and messed up. Speed limit on all these wheels should be 0 anyway. Right, so when flight mode activates, yeah man, no worries. I will come and have a look at it at some point. I might even have a little nosy later this evening, depending what I need to get done. But I'm not doing anything tomorrow, so I can have a look at it tomorrow as well. So when this activates, it triggers flight mode. Turns that off. Turns that silent. Triggers flight mode. Right, okay. Walk mode, moving, skimmer mode on. Then we engage flight mode, and that immediately. Right, okay. So, walk mode, skimmer mode. Now is it skimmer mode turning off, doing that, right, okay. So, it's supposed to be deactivated again, yeah, cool, right. Flight mode. That sound, whatever mod you like, mate. I can work around mods. So when flight mode activates, it's engaging the friction immediately. What if we change that then? What if we make that different? Skimmer mode off. Skimmer mode off. That turns on the gyros, resets the friction, and then does that. Yes, I go by the same name on Discord. Yeah, if you join the Mac Engineers Discord server, I'm in there along with all the other usual SE Mac building people. So the friction is immediately turning on there. If I made it so there was a delay in how quick it turns on, like a second. Oh crap, yeah, that's why. Oh, actually, no. That should be alright then. Ah, right, yeah, that's where the friction lights are turning on. So what if we did that different? Oh, yeah, I'll I'll put the link to the Mac Engineers Discord server in the description on this stream. I'll also just stick it on the description on the main page of my YouTube channel because people keep asking for it, and I may as well just stick it there. Everyone's welcome to join it, as far as I know. So the friction controls. Do I want them instead to perhaps not turn on there? Friction reset, and maybe instead turn on in here. On and going on. What have I gone? Where have I gone? What have I done? That one. On and on. What have I had it there instead? It's not going to affect the walk mode. Only going to affect skimmer mode. That turns everything off. And then I can now hit that. We are up in the air. To be honest, when flight mode engages, I want to turn that friction on the wheels off anyway. Because when we land, if we drag our feet and come in a bit hot, all that's going to happen is we're going to drag the wheels like so. What the hell is going on? Cave. Right. So, in fact, drop that down. Everything goes back to normal. Everything's off again. Yeah, send us a link, man. I'll join your Discord server as well. I'm happy to be in as many as there are. To be honest, the only Discord server I use at the moment is the Mech Engineers one. That's my only real experience of Discord. Right, so what did we learn there? What we learned there is when flight mode turns on, I want to take out all the friction anyway. Flight controls. We get moved again. So not got a lot of room in here. Let's move that. I can't remember what smiley face that was now. Oh, it was suspicious. Right or left or something. Emotion controller. Let's stick you over here where you're out of the way. It was suspicious left is the one. Right. So, friction controls. Mode friction off. Might need to engage that again. Need to double check. Oop, there's only one iron skimmer. What did we have in that? That was off. Oh. Yeah. Let's look at that. Give me friction mode off. Do all that, yeah. I'll deactivate that. Flight mode on. skimmer mode on. Oh, there they are. That's why I couldn't see them. Right, yeah. So when flight mode turns on, if we have those friction lights turn off, I'll turn the friction off on the front suspension. In fact, we'll have that turn on and that trigger. When I engage flight mode, it should take all the friction out of all the wheels. Cool. And if I disengage flight mode, I will be... Oh, I've got loads of room left actually. Sound. Let's stick it there then. We can turn those back on. Turn that on. Then hopefully, when I disengage flight mode, it will reset. That suspension's only gone to 25. That's only gone to 25. Why is that? Skimmer mode off. What can you do differently? Flight mode off. Change that instead to that. Right. Engage skimmer mode. That's all dandy. Let's throw some suspension on there so we can see what's happening. Front one, and then increase. Right. Increase. Left. Increase. Right. Increase. Rear left. And rear right. Wait and see all the different feet and what they're doing. So if we disengage skimmer mode. Oh. In fact, I'll need to put them on there as well. Mode on. Do. Where was I? There we were. Skimmer mode. Flight mode. Flight mode. Right, so if I disengage that, one of them only go as far as 25. Then when I engage port mode, It's only the rear ones that are behaving properly. Ah. Mode off. Yeah, this is why that was set to trigger. Friction reset. That's why it was set to trigger and play. So it does it twice. So if I tap that, they'll go down to 0. And if I disengage skinner mode, there you go, everything's back to 50 again. So we activate walk mode, and we can walk around, and the right ones are switching their friction so that it's not dragging the back feet, or the back of the feet. What's that? If you've posted a link in the chat, I don't seem to be able to see it. If you post it as a comment on this stream, I will definitely see it. Like, the live chat on my OBS seems to have issues with some things in the chat. So leave it as a comment and I'll definitely see it, because I'll get the notification that someone's left a comment on that stream. Alright, so that walks fine. Tap that to engage skimmer mode. And that does all that. Skimmer mode is engaged, the sign is engaged, the blinky light is engaged. Then tap spacebar to engage flight mode, and the friction controls haven't quite done what they're supposed to. So if I disengage flight mode, kind of goes back to normal. Sort of. What mode? What mode's fine. Skimmer mode sets everything to the way it should be. Then tap spacebar for flight mode, and the friction isn't quite swapping over properly. So, flight mode on. We might do that then as a double command thing, friction off. So that will turn on there, trigger there. Hang on, that's the wrong one. Trigger there, and start there, so that will definitely take it all the way down to 0. And then for some reason the lights, or the friction lights on the back, are not doing what they should be doing. So maybe, as a little fail-safe, I'll have them flick on and flick off again. Maybe. So, deactivate that. All kind of goes back to normal. Activate walk mode. Oh, sweet, cool. I'll definitely see that then, Bipolar. I will check the comments later on. So, walk mode is working pretty well. Tap C, or the crouch button, to switch to skimmer mode. That's working pretty well. And then tap spacebar to switch to that. And it's not quite getting the back suspensions quick enough, but it is doing the front ones. So we are getting there. Oh, yeah, okay. We're getting there. We're getting closer. Not too far off. I'm gonna go and quickly get a fresh cup of tea and have a quick bathroom break, but I'll be back in like 5 minutes. So, for now, just enjoy being stalked by Jameson Bot. Right, we are back. What's that saying, bipolar? Any mods that I need? I don't really need any mods, but there are some good ones I can suggest. There's a hinge, rotor and piston mod called Mechanical Expansion that's really, really good, and it adds a load of unique small grid rotors, hinges and pistons to the game. And that's really good for building mechs, because most of those parts have got slightly smaller collisions than vanilla blocks, which make them play nicer in tight spaces. It's not an essential mod, but it's a really good one to have if you want to do mech stuff. It's got all sorts of weird stuff like hinges with like right angle bases, and side mounts, and like 90-degree rotors and all sorts of things, and one by one block pistons. They're a really good addition with that mod. Like tiny little pistons to play with. They don't extend as far, but you can tuck them into like a single block space and have like a thing pop out. It's quite a good little mod to have. Jameson, you're gonna get booted. Right, so the controls we set up before. Hang on, that's the wrong one, that's why. That's the one I'm playing with. Yeah, that's why nothing made sense. So right, so we activate skimmer mode, and then deactivate skimmer mode. That resets everything. Activate walk mode. Everything is functioning normally, and as we're walking, we can tap the C button and we automatically switch straight into skimmer mode. Perfectly fine. And we can be skimming along, and we tap spacebar. We take off pretty easily. Put that back. Oh, sorry, mechanical expansion. Give me a second, I'll type it into the chat. Yeah, it's a really good mod for rotors and hinges. You should look for it on Steam, it's really good. I don't remember how I found it originally. I think I was just looking for some kind of any kind of rotor mod, really. Or I might have actually been looking for smaller pistons, I think. Yeah. And then if we disengage flight mode, yeah, that does that. So, flight mode off. Needs to do that. Friction reset. Needs to play it and trigger it. These lights here. If I have them turn off first. We can move that up a bit. So we could do that, that, that. Have them flick on and off, and that should return them back to normal. So, walk mode for the billionth time. Yeah, I'm running out of fuel. I'm gonna have to refuel in a minute. Yeah, all of that works fine. Tap C, and we switch straight into skimmer mode, and that transition works beautifully. Then, as we're skimming, tap spacebar, we take off, and everything still put those back. Set of suspension does what it's supposed to do. Oh, shut it. Found it then. Yeah. Take them out of there and stick them. Yeah. Oh, that's a bit over the top, I think. And light. On. Off. Friction light. That wants to turn off. That wants to turn off. Walking along, everything's cool. Tap the C button, switch into skimmer mode, tap the spacebar, switch into flight mode. That seems to work all right now. Right, okay. Seems to be working all right. Yeah, that's not too bad. Still not sure how to solve the issue with the back suspension friction. Walking along, tap that, skimmer mode engages, everything's good in the world, tap spacebar, flight mode engages. Okay, we are getting closer. Also want that to turn itself off as a failsafe. Just in case. Let's head back to the station. Get ourselves some more fuel. So we can walk there, the slow boring way, or we can hit skimmer mode, or we can hit flight mode. And there's a little bit of a delay between each one, but as far as I can tell, it works pretty well. Except for when I try and switch out between skimmer mode and flight mode. So I turn on skimmer mode manually, does that. I reset it, does that. I turn on flight mode, does that. Finger line. Let's engage that. That can be off, and that can be off, because they should be in there already. They don't seem to be. That's something I've missed out. Oh, well, that might be why. Reset, because I stuck them in there, didn't I? Well, that would make a difference. Take them out of there again. So then we've got walk mode on. Skimmer mode. Ah, yeah, there we go. That was the problem. I had that in there. There you go, everything's back to 0 now. Cool. Oop, a little bit too close. Right, we can drop down there. And I could engage skimmer mode there. Back into there, join that up. Everything refuels, and that should have disengaged skimmer mode, but it didn't. Right, that is engaged. So we can skim along, we can hit flight mode, and everything switches over pretty nicely. Turn with the mouse, and we can turn with the keyboard. And we can drop back down. Drop back down. Disengage that, and then everything goes back to normal. Cool. Oh, hey, drunk opossum. Right. Right. Okay, so I think this is working pretty well now. I can engage walk mode. The Mark IV is going pretty well. I have been working on a control system, or updating the control system from the Mark III to make it a bit more like, well, like how the control system works in Armored Core 6. So, hopefully, if I switch to my control pad, there we go, I can walk forward with my control pad using the left stick. I can turn using the right stick. Bit janky because my control pad's a bit knackered. The balance control system works. So now if I tap B, like you do in Armored Core 6, it can switch to skimmer mode, and I have full control. And now if I tap A, like in Armored Core 6, you can now engage flight mode. Yes, I have thought about doing the cataphract. In fact, yesterday I did that very mission on my Armored Core 6 play stream, and had a little nosy at it. Yeah, I definitely want to try and build a functional cataphract. It's on the shopping list of other things to build because I've got loads of stuff I want to build. I've got about 6 different ideas for these things. I took a load of screenshots of the Strider the other day because I want to finish off my Strider build. I want to do the cataphract, and there's more mechs that I want to build than I have the time to do. Annoyingly. Right, so cool. So we can walk around. we can tap the C button, and that drops us straight into skimmer mode. Tap the spacebar, and then after a second flight mode will engage because I can't get it to work immediately. It needs that second for things to switch over. And then yeah, and then we've got flight mode engaged. And then when we land, disengage flight mode, re-engage skimmer mode. When we land, that's realistically how we'd want to land. Want to land into skimmer mode again, because that's what you spend most of your time in Armored Core 6 doing when you're moving about, just gliding around on the floor. So, how could we get it to comfortably switch back between flight mode and skimmer mode when it hits the floor? Could we? We could set up an altitude controller. Yeah, we could set up an event controller that looks at altitude. And then, what am I? I'm 15 meters above the ground, apparently. So, that dropped below 20 meters. It could switch back again. Like that. I haven't got any spare event controllers in there. No. I've got a spare timer, but I'm sure I need to use that for something else later on. So, maybe that idea for now. What's going on? Oh, my broken controller. That's what's going on. So we need another event of there. Want that there. Controller. Light. Flash. Skimmer. For now. Just so I've got a point of reference. So we're currently in skimmer mode. Right. Let's deactivate that. That puts us back to normal, although the skimmer mode light is still flicking. Have I forgot to turn that off in here? Yes, I have. Skimmer exterior light off, please. Turn it on. Turn it off. There we go. Right, cool. So, we're walking about. Alt suspension is doing the correct thing at the correct time. Yeah, it's got enough friction. That's good. So when skimmer mode activates, it'll do that. When light mode turns on, we would want the flight slash skimmer mode. Got that to turn on somewhere, we'll stick it there for now. So that could turn on. Be switched off for now. That, we'll try altitude. Currently at 15. So when it gets to less than 20 meters, it will turn off flight mode. And re-engage skimmer mode. God knows, I'm going to have to fiddle about with the gyro controls, as I have done with every single one so far. Right, so that's switched off. That can also turn itself off once it's triggered. And flight mode off. One last thing in there that I want is that turn off and on. There's another fail-safe, just in case. Where should I stick it? I'll stick it there for now. That can turn off when I switch that mode off. So, we are walking about. We are patrolling for enemy mechs, enemy ACs. We tap the crouch button to engage skimmer mode. We have full keyboard gyro control and we have full mouse control. Mouse control isn't quite as strong as the keyboard control, but you're not really supposed to use the mouse, that's just for a little extra bit. Well, that all works fine. Then we hit spacebar to engage flight mode, and then we take off, and everything is cool. We go up and away above 80 meters, and then we'll come back down. When we drop below 20 meters, we... Jesus, what the hell's going on there? We engage skimmer mode fairly successfully. Engage that again. Yeah, the only problem is, yeah, I need another control for the gyros. When I drop down there, I've got gyro control back again now. Yeah, right, okay, so that just needs the same fail-safe setup as the others. What was it? So many different names for things. So that triggers a sign and then just plays skimmer mode on again. Realistically, what we just need to do is just do that. So, flight slash skimmer mode is switching from flight mode to skimmer mode, so skimmer mode on can just play again, and hopefully that will work. There we go. Gliding around, tap the spacebar, we take off at the nosedive for some reason. the gyro control hasn't kicked in. Really? There we go. Right. Okay. We drop down below 20 meters and we have issues. That. Damn you. Right. Turn that off. Gyro control system should hopefully sort this out. Maybe. See what happens. That's not me controlling anything, that is the gyroscopes doing stuff. You're gonna get onto your back. You're gonna sort yourself out. No. No. Right, fine. Right, we'll try that again. Right, so we're walking along. Engage skimmer mode. Was good. Everything turns properly. Engage flight mode. Everything turns properly. It's all good. Drop down. Ah, you see that's an issue because you might come in at a weird angle. And then obviously the gyro control isn't going to help you much. Why is it doing that with its feet? That's interesting. Alright, and that's skimmer mode. That's flight mode. Come back in, below 20 meters, drop back into skimmer mode again. You can move about. So yeah, okay. I think you've just got to be a bit careful when you drop back in. And then that has now got a circular control system. Because if I tap the spacebar again, I can take back off. And then if I drop back in again, below 20 meters, drop back into skimmer mode. drifting out as far as they should be. Oh, nowhere near, that's why. That's why. Yeah. That'll be why. I forgot to. That's all the way out. So the feet are a little bit more spread. Yeah, there you go. And then we can disengage skimmer mode from there. And everything, wheels should go back to normal. Right, cool. Alright, then that's back to its default sort of position. Walk mode back on. Yeah, cool. Ah. Now, the only thing I can think now is this control system is going to mess with the AI systems that I want to build in the next stream, so I might have to think about some more fail-safes for that, but that can easily be done with more timer blocks. What happens if I try and engage flight mode from a walking stance? Ah, that's what happens. Something's going screwy there. Because some of the walk controls are still active. Walk forward is still active for a start, so that's not helpful. Walk reverse is still active. Oh, and that'll be because doing that hasn't disengaged walk mode. That's why. Right, that off. Right, disengage that. Activate walk mode. That's all active. Okay, so we wanted to make flight mode active. We want that to be able to switch from walk mode and flight mode. Then we need to bump these things along. So flight mode on needs to move along one. Flight mode sign needs to move along one. And we will have the walk sign off and the skimmer mode sign on. That should hopefully mean that as I'm walking, and I've got that thruster the controller active, I should be able to tap or hold the spacebar to engage flight mode. And it has successfully turned off walk mode. All the lights or signs are blinking. None of the legs are moving weirdly or conflicting with each other. Cool. Then we can come back down to ground. Should automatically engage skimmer mode. We bounce like an idiot because we're a bit bouncy, and yeah. And maybe I need to somehow try and delay skimmer mode kicking in. Otherwise, you need to come in perfectly flat. Then that engages skimmer mode. Find my controls, there they are. You can turn skimmer mode off. Oh, the falling over is because the gyro, like, balance control system, those gyros switch between manual control and override control depending on the mode you're in. And when they're only active during walk mode, or when the mech hasn't got any modes active. When skimmer and flight mode are both active, it swaps all those gyros over to manual control so you can use the mouse to move around. Right, so if I re-engage walk mode, we can keep walking. We can tap the spacebar, and we pretty much immediately kick in because walk mode and flight mode don't have any conflicts, where skimmer mode and flight mode do have a few and need that little delay. But that can now switch between flight and, well, walk mode and flight mode by pressing the spacebar, or by pressing the A button on the control pad, and then it can drop in like that. Go back to skimmer mode. In skimmer mode, we can also engage flight mode, but it has a 1 second delay because of reasons that are necessary. We can drop back down and it'll kick back into skimmer mode. Yes, that's seemingly working fairly well now. Disengage skimmer mode. Everything turns off. Everything goes back to normal. And then we can still independently activate each mode if we want to. Oop, that's... There's an issue. What's happening there? Why hasn't that activated? Oh, and then obviously when I drop down from that, it'll drop back into skimmer mode. That's not activated properly. Interesting. Turn that off, and yeah, the mouse control's back on when it shouldn't be. Which is that block there. Bam. Off you go. Yeah. So, if I engage flight mode, there we go. Ah. When I got above 20 meters, then that did something. I think that controller might be doing something it shouldn't be. Ah, yeah, that's what it's doing. Triggering that when it shouldn't be, I think. Why are you doing that? Interesting behaviour. Put that back on. That goes back to not. Drop back down. And then that bounces around a bit like a divvy, but it switches back to skimmer mode. Ah, but the feet are doing weird stuff, that's why it's trying to tip. Right, okay, so skimmer mode on. What are you missing? Hands, legs, hands. Have I got hand lights twice? I have got hand lights twice. Hand lights twice and no foot light controls. That'll be why. Foot lights. Arms. Friction. Leg lights. Foot lights. On, and on. Mode off. Any space left in here? Not a lot. Foot lights. On, and on. So if I hit that, I can stick all those in the right position. Cool. And then we take off. We're good. We control everything. Groovy. And then we can drop back down to the ground and re-engage skimmer mode. Cool. And then tap the spacebar, we can launch back into the air. Drop back down below 20 and we Re-engage skimmer mode. Cool, so if I deactivate that there, everything goes back to how it should be. Everything is off. Turn walk mode on. Just turns on those ones. And we can walk around. And we can tap C to engage skimmer mode without having to take our finger off the forward control. And we've got mouse control and we've got keyboard control. Cool. And we can tap or hold the spacebar to engage flight mode. Groovy. Everything seems to be working as it should. Come in for a landing. And it re-engages skimmer mode. Obviously doing it at 50 meters a second in Space Engineers is probably not a great idea. Seems to be working alright. Cool. Engage that. Re-engage walk mode. Now, another thing that the walk animations and movement animations do in Armored Core 6 is you can be gliding around and moving about, but if you stop for a prolonged amount of time, it automatically switches back into walk mode. So I'm curious. I build a little system that makes it automatically switch back into walk mode if you stop moving. Space, we got not many left. Yeah, so I'll stick another one in here. Roller, skimmer, skimmer, 2 M's, skimmer, walk, call it that for now. So I reckon, with the way everything else has worked so far, if we have this one set to activate when skimmer, I keep missing that double M. We have skimmer mode turn on. Spaces, that's fine. I'll stick it there for now. Have that turn on there. And put it on this side. Turn it up to there. Really should just move all those wheels, but can't be arsed. Have that turn off there. So then, this skimmer back to walk mode return system, we could set it to grid speed less than 0.5 for now. In fact, I might even make it less than that. 0.1. And when that happens, turn this off for now. When that happens, skimmer mode will deactivate. Walk mode will activate, and walk mode on will almost certainly have to play again, I think. But I'm going to leave it for now and see what happens. So we can be walking around. We tap C to engage skimmer mode. We are gliding around the place. And if we come to a complete stop, and we come to a complete stop, weird stuff starts happening. Okay. I didn't expect it to start thrusting its hips quite like that. Walk mode on, walk mode off. Right. That didn't quite work as expected. So, oh, and then that just kicked in. Ah, right, right. I've got an idea of what's going on. You stop it. You stop it. And get yourself up. Doing it ever so slowly. Right, in the meantime, maybe I do need to set that control up the same way. I also needed to turn itself off. That can turn itself off. That's going to turn walk mode on, and that is going to trigger walk mode on again, I think. We'll start walk mode on again. And the balance control system is slowly getting itself back on the ground, or back off the ground. Hooray! It did it itself. Right, walk mode engaged. All of our gyro control is functioning correctly. And then if we tap C, we switch to skimmer mode quite comfortably. And then if we come to a stop, we'll re-engage as walk mode. But I think because of the inherent wiggle that you get with subgrids, I might need to make the threshold for that a wee bit higher. So we will go with 0.5 now. So, oh, and that kicked in when it shouldn't have. Again. You should be switched off, thank you very much. Why are you turning on? What is going on there? Take them out. I know what that works properly. Right, so when I engage walk mode, that does that. When I start walking, that's fine. Why is that flicking? I engage that, that turns on. That hasn't swapped over my gyro controls though. Why is that gone funky? And we slow down. That triggers that. And that comes back on again. Why? Interesting. Something's conflicting in there. We are walking and moving fine. Then we switch over. It's not swapping over my gyro control now. Why not? Interesting. And then we come to a stop and it gives me back gyro control. But Are these still on? No, not on. And why is pushing the forward controller engaging that? It's strange behaviour. Because that is currently switched off. Why is pushing the forward controller activating it in any sort of way? I don't get why that. Triggering that. Why is that doing that? That's why. It's doing it in response to that thruster. That thruster wouldn't be on. Or rather, I'm in walk mode. Those two should be on. That's something to do with it then, isn't it? Oh, I'm a fucking idiot. That's why it's not doing it properly. So I put it in the wrong place, and it's been triggering stuff at the wrong time. We've been there instead. Turn walk mode off. Turn walk mode on. Walk forward. Everything is fine. We've got our mouse control, we've got our gyro control. Or should do. What's going on there? That again. Some issues. Right. Walk mode active. But we then tap C, we switch straight into skimmer mode. And if we drop back down below -1, whatever it is, that seems to have worked. I think. Oh no, tilt control's not switched over. Damn, why not? Why is that not switched over? Because they all supposed to be on override. Trigger. Then what mode? Off. Cool. Right now. Do that. That's good there. Bump. Gyros. Tilt. Override. Gyro. Light. Override. Override. And tilt control is on. We can walk forwards. Gauge that. And that switches everything over. Yeah. Turning everything off. So maybe we don't actually want that. It's causing the problem. Now we are in walk mode and we have no balance control anymore. Yeah. That needs to be there. Then we tap that to switch control modes. We stop and switch back, and we have that problem again. Oh. Mode on. Did I forget? Nope, they all turn on. Hmm. Yeah, probably not going to make a difference. Put that there instead. Turn walk mode off. Turn walk mode on. Turn skimmer mode on. Disengage skimmer mode. Yeah, it's not turning them back on again quick enough. What's causing that problem? No. In a splash thingy. Yeah, that activates walk mode. Turns itself off. Oh, just in case it might catch it that way, let's try it that way. So turn off walk mode again. Turn on walk mode again. Take a few steps, everything's good. Except for the tilt control, which is completely backwards. Again. That's the way it should be. And walking along, we engage skimmer mode. That's all good. And then we onto a stop. And yeah, it doesn't activate that thruster quick enough because skimmer mode off. Friction, wheels, more wheels. Yeah, skimmer thrusters. Oh shit. That's the one that's conflicting because that's also controlling those thrusters. Damn it. So if I take them off that, and stick them in here somewhere instead. Well, realistically, I just need to move those wheels, but you know what? Do it like that instead. Now. We will get there eventually. Everything else worked pretty well so far. It's been nearly 3.5 hours, so I'm probably going to wrap this up in a minute. Regardless, but try and get this finished. So, walk mode, engage, plod around. That is switched on. That is switched on. Tap C to engage our flight mode controls, and it's not done the back-in gyros properly again. You pain in the arse. So that's the way around it's supposed to be. And we engage that. And we come to a stop. Alright, well that's caught the thrusters properly this time, but our gyro control is the wrong way around. But we can fix that. Turning that on. Triggering it, hopefully. On. Trigger, right. Pull that back to normal. So we've got the right things in the right place. If I deactivate walk mode, everything goes back to the way it should be. Turn on walk mode. Gyro control, gyro control. Walk around. Switch to skimmer mode. Got gyro control there. I've got gyro control there. Onto a stop. And then it's switched over, but the gyros are still the wrong way around. So that is going to have to be a start action. That back the way it's supposed to be. Like that. What are you doing now? Well done. You try and get yourself back up. No, you're not. Fine. Right. Right. Do. Right. One more smeg in time. Everything's off. Warp mode on. Gyro is the right way around. We can walk around. We can engage. Skimmer mode. And then... oh, and then we just run out of fuel. Ugh, typical. Right. Smeg it. I'm going to leave that there. We've nearly cracked this. It's working pretty well. So... I can just sit there, and that's at 0, and that has seemingly reset everything. The gyros are still the wrong smacking way around though. Yeah, we'll fix that next time. Smeg it. That'll do. Right. And I'm going to leave that there. I'm hungry, and I need to have a break. So, thank you for watching, thank you for chatting, thank you for Bipolar and Angry Opossum and Freybear and all the usual suspects for jumping in and saying hello. I will be back probably tomorrow maybe with a bit more. So I will see you next time. So goodbye for now.